on my way to the set of Old 37, which I understand is a fairly low-budget independent movie being made. Where are we headed? And by the way, what is your name, young man?
My name is Wes, and we are heading to the Hampton Bays, Long Island, New York.
And what do you do on Old 37?
I'm a production assistant.
Now, why would you say that you are a good production assistant? If you are.
You know, do what needs to be done. Handle business.
You seem to be a top PA. Why is that?
You know, I just do a little bit of everything. You know, I know how to tie knots. You know how to pack a truck. You know how to drive. You know, without getting into an accident. Really important.
What do you do? What's your name, if you don't mind?
Jessica Long, first team PA.
What does that mean, first team PA?
I just keep track of the actors, keep them happy, shuttle them to and from set.
And is there a second team PA?
No, not on this one.
What am I doing?
You are our Samaritan today.
Cool. Any advice for me today as the Good Samaritan? Anything I should be thinking about? Or?
Happy thoughts. You know,
Thanks.
Good happy thoughts.
You're a nice person. How nice are you? You're too nice to be in the movie business.
That's what they tell me.
Here's the call sheet that has been reduced to the small version. This was something we could not succeed in doing on either Poultrygeist or Return to Class of Newcomb High. But these people seem to be able to do it and have sides that are on small papers and all that sort of stuff. What do you do on this fine movie?
I'm the costume designer.
You mentioned something about color. The director's not a big fan of bright colors,
I think what we're doing is we're doing a real tight picture. So the only colors we're using are like grays, blacks, navies, and whites, and then we're just saving the color for the blood. So when the blood happens, it'll be such a startling effect on such a very calm kind of background. So yeah, so far it's working really well.
Well, it looks like I've arrived just on time for lunch. Perfect timing, and looks like a pretty nice setup too, from what I've discerned. The crew eats first because they're on the clock. Looks good.
It's delicious.
Is it gluten-free? We always have issues with gluten-free.
I don't know if it's gluten-free, but we've got some really good chicken parm going on and some corn.
Nice. Well,
good vegetables.
Any interesting lessons that you've come up with?
Learning how to look warm when I'm actually very cold. And I've come up with it that it's all internal. So like I think about being on a beach, I think about hot chocolate. I love to associate food to internally find my space.
Looks like Bill Mosley.
Hey, nice Lloyd, good to see you again.
Thanks for letting me be in your movie.
Well, you know, it's really good to have you, and we're gonna do some fun things to you this afternoon.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Off camera. You've always
Off camera. Yeah, right.
Hey, Kane. How you doing?
Fine, Lloyd.
Good to
Troma.
See you. Yeah, we're still we're the herpes of the movie industry. We ain't going away, Kane.
A lot of times in low-budget filmmaking, a lot of the budget might go to, say, name actors or a couple of big effects or things, leaving very little money for special effects makeup and sometimes for stunt people. And when you have a scene in the movie where, let's say, you get you're pushed off a cliff, then your body is set on fire, and then you're dragged behind a Jeep for 2 miles on a bumpy road, and they don't have stunt people, I wouldn't take the part.
I'm the first AC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
My name's Christian. I'm the director.
Oh, hi, Lloyd Kaufman. You don't want any bright colors. I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, no bright colors. And
yes.
This is David.
I'm Dave. I'm
cool.
the cinematographer.
So now what's hold on, you guys are backlit here.
Yes, and he's going to be keeping you in focus. So
what's going on here? What are we going to shoot tonight?
Tonight we're going to shoot an accident. and our EMTs, Daryl and John Roy, are going to intercept a 911 call, take a victim, take her into their ambulance, and basically foreshadow what's going to happen to her later on. And Lloyd Kaufman, the famous Lloyd Kaufman, is going to play the Good Samaritan, who places the 911 call, waits by the girl's side for the EMTs to arrive, and without really understanding what he's doing, allows two killers to go away with a teenage girl.
Any advice for Lloyd Kaufman that I could tell him?
The one advice I give all the actors, I'm not even kidding because he's heard me say this a few times, just be sincere. In everything you do, be sincere. And whatever your line is, you deliver it truthfully, honestly, and from the heart.
Does that, if you were to speak to students, with this sort of for students?
For students?
Would that be your main advice for?
In life, yeah. I mean, you can do comedy, you can do camp, you can do musicals, you can do horror, you can do any genre of film you like, but you have to be sincere in your efforts. If you come at it in a half-handed way, in an offhanded way,
listen, kids,
in a non-committal fashion, the product suffers, the work suffers. You're an artist, you have to defend your work. You have to be sincere.
Any other advice for up-and-coming, first-time filmmakers?
Just do it. Just do it, get out there and do it, and have fun, and do it some more.
So this is one of the crew houses, production houses. I think this is the one that houses the brain trust, the assistant directors and production managers and stuff like that. Instead of motels or hotels, they use this, which is pretty cool. This is a summer movie?
Yes, this is a summer movie. Took a while for us to start shooting, so now we're doing summer at late November, which is, you know, means a lot of warm clothes need to be put on the actors in between shots.
For you filmmakers, silk will keep you warm as opposed to t-shirt, and for some reason I am wearing women's clothing, which I do at home anyway, so no problem.
Sounds ready, cameras ready?
ready.
Sound speeds, camera.
Speed.
113 Apple, take one.
Mark.
Mark. You guys hear anything? We're not hearing anything in the can. Here we go, we're rolling. We're set, and action.
There's been an accident. Yeah. Apparently the ambulance is not working, so you never know where it's going to come from. What would you say is the hardest thing about producing your movie, Old 37?
The hardest thing is probably the logistics between actors, locations, and weather.
What do you mean by that?
That's the hardest thing.
What does that mean?
Well, because some actors can only be on set certain days. The availabilities are, you know, limited. And then locations, you have to get them. Oh, you can only get this location all at one time consecutively, but you might not have the actor consecutively. So it's a lot of like moving strips around on the schedule. You know, that's what Yeri does, but it's pretty intense.
So you and the SAG rules, of course, you've got to juggle. If you work with somebody on Monday and then not again until Friday, do you have to pay for the intervening days?
Yeah, you have to give them a per diem if they're like if we're holding them here. Yeah.
Is it full rate or is it just per diem?
No, it's just per diem.
So that's the low. This is low, but
it's modified low.
Modified low.
Yeah. And
okay.
It's not bad.
So modified low budget is.
And we should make an announcement to have people start eating
the rate, and then per diem if you don't use them.
Yeah.
What is the difference between low budget and modified low budget, if there is a difference?
Well, I think that.
Right?
What's that?
The difference between is how much the budget is. So like I think $650 is the modified low budget, and then like what you need. And I don't know what.
Is low budget more than modified, or less?
Yeah.
I see.
Low budget is more. Modified is like they had to really modify.
Super low. Okay.
Whoops, face become.
Whoa! You guys were fast. Should I be filling out any kind of paperwork or?
Don't worry, I'm a paramedic.
Oh, good, good, good.
Green
Yeah, I
set,
may have
still
looked in the
rolling?
camera. This has been a 2 or 3 year project.
Oh, it's been more than that. Yeah, many years of fundraising and putting together a team. And
how did you finally get the? It's like $50 million. How did you get all the money?
Well, the first 49 million was the toughest, but the last million came right in.
And what? How did you do it? Did you do it through a law firm? Or,
No, we just hit the streets and went to events and met a lot of people, and just we always spoke about the project and always let people know that it was happening and that it was awesome and people really loved it. And eventually, you just have a snowball and it goes and goes and people catch on, and then it just gets bigger and bigger, and then people are more apt to want to invest and be a part of it.
Thanks for joining us on Old 37.
Oh,
Old 38.
Oh, yeah, that's
Old 38. Yeah,
that's coming up next.
That's the name of the movie, yeah?
Yeah.